Welcome to the Sleep Sense Show. As always, brought to you by the Sleep Sense program, where podcast listeners can get a free customized sleep plan by going to www.sleepsense.net/listen.
Hi, this is Dana. Welcome to today's show. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You have basically run ragged all day long. You got the kids to school, you went to work, you had your meetings, you checked your emails, you did your projects, you had some lunch at your desk, you got in your car, you drove home, you stopped for groceries, you made dinner, you got the kids ready for bed, you put the kids to bed, you had a couple of cocktails to wind down, you checked your email, you watched TV, and then maybe at 11 or 12 o'clock you turned off the lights and you climbed into bed. And then you laid there. And you laid there, and you laid there, and you laid there, and you tossed and you turned, and you looked at the clock, and you looked at your phone, and then you laid there some more. And then finally, an hour or two later, you might have fallen asleep and had kind of a fitful sleep until your alarm clock goes off in the morning and you feel horrible yet again. Another version of that is that you fall asleep really quickly, but then you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you stared at your clock, and you laid there, and you laid there, and tossed, and you turned, you worried about your day, and you fretted about the fact that you weren't sleeping. Yeah, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? I'm talking to you. Yes, I am. Most of the adult population, I'd say at least half of you out there, do this on a regular basis. So I have to tell you that I've become passionate about sleep in general over the last 14 years. It started with babies, and then it just evolved from there to kids, teens, adults alike, because I just believe so passionately that it is the foundation for a good, happy, healthy life. And so I'm going to give you some tips today for you. Right? This has nothing to do with your kids. For once, this is all about you. I want to give you 3 tips today that you can start to make changes around tonight to see some positive changes in the quality of your sleep. I'm going to tell you the reasons why, and they're really simple, right? They might not be the easiest thing to do, but they are pretty darn simple. The first thing and the most important thing, in my opinion, is that we have become so electronically dependent. And there's a couple of reasons why this is problematic when it comes to sleep. One of the main reasons is because it interferes with our melatonin production. Now, if you don't know what melatonin is, it's basically a hormone that your body makes when the sun goes down. And it helps relax you and get you sleepy, and then it helps you fall asleep in a timely manner, and it also helps keep you asleep for as long as you need to sleep. And so you can imagine that with the invention of the light bulb, that caused some problems. Before the light bulb, when the sun went down, there wasn't much to do. You started feeling sleepy, you went to bed. Most people got about 10 hours of nighttime sleep before the light bulb. And it made sense, right? Busy all day, you're working hard, you're tired, it's dark out, what else are you going to do? Go to bed. Now there's so many distractions and reasons to stay awake and light sources to keep your melatonin low that we're lucky if we even feel tired by 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Usually it's, hey, I better get to bed, right? Not your body saying you should go to bed, but you telling yourself, hey, it's getting late, I really should get myself to bed here. That's a sure sign that you've got some melatonin problems. You might have been dead tired when you got home from work. That's common, right? At the dinner hour, you think, oh, sheesh, I'm beat. I'm going to bed, right as soon as the kids do. I'm exhausted. But then, sure enough, there you are, looking at your clock at midnight thinking, wow, I better get to bed. It's getting late. So, light sources, screen time, computers, TVs, iPads, iPhones, doesn't matter what the screen is, all of those things send out blue light in particular, which is the most damaging, let's say, to your melatonin. It interferes the most with your melatonin. And so one quick fix to solve some of this melatonin problem is to turn them off. Yeah, turn it off. Sounds simple, right? About an hour before bed, and an hour is a minimum. For some people, it's more like 2, and for some, it's 3. So I'm going to ask you to start with an hour. Just experiment with how this works for you. But let's just start with turning off excess light. So if you don't need the light to see what's going on, turn it off. If you sit in a particular room like most of us do in the evenings, swap those light bulbs out for something called blue block light bulbs. You can buy them on Amazon. They're a little bit more expensive than a normal light bulb, but they last a long time. So swap those out so that that's at least helping you. That's blocking some of that blue light. It sends out a pretty good quality light source. Maybe not as great, but still good enough that you could read by it or something like that. You can also buy sunglasses online. They're blue blocking sunglasses. Those are, if I'm being honest, I've tried both, and those sunglasses are a little bit annoying to wear. So most people kind of don't bother, but that's another option if you want to do that. If you have to work, and please really question that. Do you have to be, if you don't absolutely have to be working, please don't. But if you have to be looking at a screen, I would definitely either you can buy them again online. They just are like a protector screen, they sort of stick to the screen front, and they block some of the blue light that's being emitted. Better, I know a lot of phones and iPads now have a night function, like a blue block function. It's not great, though, if I'm being honest. You could do both. You could turn that setting on and also get the screen for the outside. That would be much better. That's going to be much, much better for your melatonin to do both. Or wear the glasses. Those are a really good option as well. If you're just staring at the screen anyway, you could put the glasses on. But definitely do that. So an hour before bed, we're turning off all the lights. We're turning off all the screens if we can. And what I would suggest you do instead, and this kind of sort of freaks people out a little bit because they think, what would I do? Oh my gosh, what would I do? But really think about it. If somebody just gave you a precious hour in your day where you didn't have to do anything but whatever you enjoyed, wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be a beautiful gift? So I'm giving it to you today. I want you to give it to yourself. 1 hour before bed. That is your precious hour to do whatever you like. That is both relaxing and feeds your soul. That does not involve a screen. So some options would be, hey, go take a bath, right? Go take a bubble bath. Maybe put a little lavender in that bubble bath. There's lots of evidence that suggests that the scent of lavender is relaxing, helps get your mind and your body ready for sleep. Right? Do it. Have a cup of tea, not caffeinated tea, and enjoy yourself. Maybe do some stretching. If you like yoga, you could do some yoga. You could read a book. You could write in a journal. You could read magazines. You could do all this wonderful thing with this precious hour. But again, if you're going to read or write in journals or read magazines, again, do it by that light source where we've swapped out the bulb so that we're encouraging melatonin, not preventing it. Listen to music, listen to an audiobook. So many awesome options there. So pick it, right? Pick some things and honor it and respect yourself and give yourself this little gift. And that leads me to the next tip, which is a bedtime routine. Now, most of us at minimum brush our teeth, right? I hope you do, for your partner's sake. But most of us just brush our teeth and get our pajamas on and crawl into bed. And so the chores that you have to do to get yourself ready, those aren't that enjoyable, but they serve a purpose beyond hygiene. They get your mind and your body in line with the fact that you're going to sleep for the night. They act as a cueing system to your body and brain that, hey, we're transitioning, right? Most people need transition time, especially for something as big as sleeping for 8 or 9 hours. So if you can incorporate some of these activities from your hour of no screens with a bath and then yoga, maybe reading, and you do this in the same order every night. That is important. That's been researched, and the order is important. Most people naturally do it in the same order every night without thinking about it. So shouldn't be that hard to kind of put a few pieces in place here and keep them in the same order. Again, it acts as a really good cueing system. So you start with a bath, maybe you read, whatever it is. But do those in the same order every night, at least for 30 minutes before bed. And that will definitely help with your transition time. Get your body ready for this beautiful experience of going to sleep. The next tip is that you start not doing anything in your bed other than sleeping or having sex. Those are the only two things you should be doing in your bed, period. You don't read in your bed, you don't work in your bed, you don't watch TV in your bed. Sleep and sex, that's it. And the reasons why, again, have a lot to do with psychological reasons, that you start sending a message to your body and your brain that when I go to that place, it's for sleep and sleep alone. And, I did say sex, but that's part of sleep, right? That's something maybe you do every now and then before you fall asleep. So there's lots of evidence to suggest that that's actually a good thing to do before sleep. And if you can, then I suggest you do that. But otherwise, we just want to really make it clear, right? We don't want to confuse the issue. And if you work there or you watch TV there, there's stress involved in that, right? Even if you feel like you love Breaking Bad or whatever the show is you're watching, it's stressful, right? Any kind of criminal or violent screen time right before bed, it's sending out some stress hormones. It definitely is. Whether you think it is or not, it is. So that's going to bring up some stress or anxiety for you. So then now you start to look at your bed as like this not super awesome place to go. It's kind of great, but sometimes not. You really want to send this message. Honestly, people, if you're having great quality sleep, what is better, right? At the end of a long, full day, to see that beautiful bed, crawl into it and relax and know that you're going to have 8 hours to spend there. It should be a really great piece of your day. It should be like something you just fold into, right? Yay, bed. If it's not that way for you, I want to help you get there. So that is going to be a big piece of it, that we just make this place lovely and inviting for bed. Now, there's lots of research that suggests that comfort is super important. So maybe you need to get some of those bamboo sheets that you've been eyeing that cost a little more than the poly blend that you have on there right now. And that would be a great investment. Again, this is an investment in your health and your happiness. So go for it. Maybe you decide, hey, every week I'm going to change these sheets because I notice that the nights after I change my sheets, I sleep better. Or maybe I need to get a new pillow, or maybe whatever it is. Maybe I just need to, put a little fancy up my bedroom or clean up the clutter or something. Just make that place an inviting place to walk into that should be calming, right? Not a stressor when you walk in there. So if you've got a pile of laundry in the corner that every time you walk in, you go, oh, right, yuck, laundry, get it out of there, right? Make your room a sanctuary for sleep. As much as you can, it should be a lovely place that you enjoy going to. And the last little bonus tip I'm going to give you is that there's, a lot of evidence around gratitude before bed. Right? Think about what you do before bed. For most people, it's like you watch a violent show on TV and then you go to bed. That's the crazy stuff to put in your head right before bed. Some people are more sensitive to it than others. I get that. But even if you feel like you're not, just think about it, right? What content are you putting into your brain right before bed? My suggestion, that you don't, well, now that we're cutting out anything screen related an hour before, that's really going to help. But there's a lot of evidence that if you just spend a couple of minutes right before you fall asleep, pull out a little pen and paper and write down 3 great things that happened in your day. Or a gratitude journal, write down 3 awesome things in your life. Or even just think it, right? That's those sort of moments as you're relaxing and getting ready for sleep to come. Just make it a habit of thinking about 3 great things that happened during your day. Because what happens to most people when they lay there awake is that their brain actually goes in the opposite direction of what they want it to, right? You get into bed and you start thinking about that project you didn't get done and the meeting you have tomorrow and you didn't get enough groceries and, you've got 20 things to do on your to-do list, and our mind just starts going down that road of tomorrow already. We're not even there yet, but that's a lot of the reasons why people have trouble falling asleep. So I'm asking you to kind of switch that up before you even go there and just start thinking of the positives, the gratitude, the things you're grateful for in your life, and see if you can keep those other thoughts away. And just set the stage for a great night's sleep by starting the night with some positivity. It'll really make a difference, I promise. It's not woo-woo, right? I know it sounds a little woo-woo, but it's not. This is scientifically backed that people who do this sleep better. All right, so let's just recap. You're going to do the power down, right? 1 hour before bed, screens and lights off. Number 2, you're going to dedicate that precious gift of 1 hour of time to yourself every single evening to do activities that fulfill you. Have a bath, read a book, write in a journal, whatever it is. And you're going to do at least 30 minutes of that in the same order every night. You're going to make your bedroom a sanctuary, like clean out the clutter, get nice fresh sheets on there, not read, not watch TV, not work, not do anything else in your bed but sleep, okay? And then the 4th bonus tip is that you're going to either think about things that make you feel grateful or write them down. I feel like writing them down is a bit more powerful, but if you can't do that, at least think them. Set the stage for a really good quality sleep by being super positive about your life. Everybody can think of at least 3. All right, I hope that helps. If you want a little more advice about this, I do have a program for adults. It's called Solve Your Sleep, and it goes through a lot of what we just talked about and some other things like diet and watching your caffeine and monitoring your alcohol. These are other things that are in the program that are going to help you put a plan in place to get good quality sleep, because really, what could be more important? I can't think of too much else that is equally important as getting a good quality nighttime sleep. Thanks so much for listening today. As always, please sleep well.
Thanks so much for listening. For more great tips on helping your child sleep through the night, remember to subscribe, rate, and review the show on iTunes or Stitcher, and never miss an episode.